Hello, my name is Alisa. I am very glad to welcome you on my channel in this video. This video is going to be about something really very personal and something that I'm not even able to share with the most of my friends. There are only a few people I can talk to about that. And I guess this video is kind of a step in my journey and is partly therapeutical. I hope that saying all the things I'm going to say out loud and then posting it on the internet is going to free myself from a part, at least, of the struggles I'm having with the topic I'm going to talk about today. Nervous, scared, suppressing my emotions. That's how I'm feeling right now. But okay, let's start. My name is Alisa. I'm 31 years old, if I'm not mistaken. I live in Armenia currently. I'm Russian. I lived in Russia my whole life till about 2 years ago when my husband and I left the country to live somewhere else. And currently we're living in Armenia. I have 2 dogs and a cat. I'm a product marketing manager in a very cool company. It's a Russian company. I work remotely. I love it. I love my job. That's pretty much all about me, I guess. So let's dive in. This video is going to have the following structure. I will tell you about my goal first, and then I will describe why it's so important for me, and then share the achievement plan, and then share some random thoughts about it if I'll have any left at that point. And so it will be mostly sit and talk video. I will just sometimes show some pics or videos if I have the corresponding ones. I'm extremely nervous. I may not look like it because I'm suppressing a lot of it, and I've been my whole life. Yeah, so I'm just very nervous. Let me read it so that because again I'm nervous, so that I say it exactly as I intended it to be put out in the world. So my most important goal for 2024 is that in 2024 I have traveled to the USA to visit my American family and spend some alone time in the New York City. Okay, I'm gonna let myself here breathe and cry if I need to. Although I do have problem with crying, it's hard for me to cry, but I really want to. So I'm gonna let myself experience all the emotions I'm gonna experience, and then I'll just edit it out if it gets in the way of the story. So I told you I'm 31, and once I was 16, and I traveled to the US as an exchange student through a program for exchange students called Flex. I lived in the USA for 9 months, and I studied in high school. I was in 12th grade, and I lived with a host family in the most beautiful state for me, Pennsylvania. I already got my lipstick here, sorry. So it's been 15 years now, and everything that reminds me of that experience always is connected with what's the word? The whirl pond? No, the whirl storm? The storm whirl of emotions for me. And little stuff like a mug with all the stuff from Pennsylvania. Plus, it is a Starbucks mug, which also like I had a moment, a very sweet memory of going to Starbucks when I was in America, and so having a Starbucks mug with all the Pennsylvania things and Pennsylvania written on it is this alone is very emotional for me. And here I want to say a huge thank you to Karina, who traveled to Georgia, the country of Georgia, not the state, and brought me this mug, and to my husband, who organized this whole thing and paid for it. Thank you very much. It means a huge deal for me. When I went there, everything that happened to me, everything that I experienced, living with my host family and going to American school and having friends there and just different traveling experiences. It's really, I don't have words for it yet, experience. I can't find them neither in English nor in Russian. I'm sorry that my voice is getting quieter. It's because I'm trying not to cry, because I'm usually suppressing my emotions and I can't just let it flow. So probably my voice is gonna break and be quiet. I'm sorry about that. I'm so tense right now. I'm very tense. First, I wanna tell you about my experience living there. Point number one, how I feel I fit into the family. So my American family, and that's how I call them, lived in Pennsylvania. So I had, here it goes, finally. I wanted to cry for about 4 months now and I couldn't. Finally, it's gonna happen. So my American family consists of my mom, her name is Holly, my dad, his name is Conrad, my beautiful big sister, Sydney, and I also want to say that my beautiful American family consists of Sydney's daughter, Asta, though I've never seen you, I consider you to be, I guess, I don't know if I have the right to say this, but someday I would love to have a niece-auntie relationship with you. Damn, it's harder than I thought. Program, yeah, let me talk about something which doesn't provoke tears. So the program implied that for me, in order to participate in it, I had to go through a few stages of competition, and then when I was approved, I had to fill out a huge file with different information about me and write a few essays about my hobbies and what kind of person I am. And on the other end, the host families, they, as far as I understand it, they apply for the program as well to host a foreign exchange student, and then a representative. In my case, it was Stuart. Stuart, I remember you very warmly as well. And I'm very thankful for all the wonderful things you did for us. The way I'm crying now is like 1/10 of how I really want to cry. A program representative, in my case it was Stuart High, brings those files of different exchange students to the host families, and based on those files, host families choose who they want to invite to their family. And so my family chose me. Или ты можешь просто мне сказать, что ты в наушниках, например. Я могу тебе переходник дать для наушников. My husband is a diamond. Thank you, Max. Yeah, the last thing that cracked me was saying that my family chose me. And yeah, they did. 1-2 months before actually going to the USA, I got an email with information about my host family. They also filled in some files, like with information about them. And I remember I knew that. So, a step back. The reason it cracks me so much right now talking about it is because I never talked about it with anybody. I'm talking about it in therapy now, and with Max, my husband, and sometimes when I have the courage to, with my friend Nastya, or my friend Oля, my friend Vika, and Anya. I'm so grateful to you girls that you are such friends, that I feel I can talk to about it. So it's been 15 years, and only 2 years ago I started, so 13 years of not talking about it. And then 2 years ago I started to talk about it in therapy first, and still, well, there are some things, like the ones I'm telling you right now, about the stuff I remember from my family's file. So there are stuff like that I haven't yet discussed with anybody, mentioned, just saying it out loud. It's not that it's some kind of, I don't know, there is a huge story. No, it's just little things that are so dear to my heart and that I closed away for a very long time. I remember some stuff like that my father, Conrad, that he loved rock music and played guitar. And that's what, when I was packing for the trip, I was thinking about what kind of presents to bring to each of the family members, and I brought him a CD with a famous Russian, a very cool Russian guitar player. And I remember I was so inspired by it. I always loved music, and I always wanted to play music, but at that point I didn't. So I was very excited about having a rock and roll dad. And then my mom, Holly, at that point, well, my English was kind of pre-intermediate, I think, and it wasn't like I was perfect at it or all the words. So when I saw her name, Holly, I I didn't know that there is a difference between words like Holly with one L and with double L. Um, and all the way up until I came to the USA, I thought that her name means like Holly with one L. I don't know how to put it in English now. My English is escaping me. But if it was with one L and had this meaning, I wouldn't be surprised. Because in the way I understand the word holy with one L is that it's someone with so much light in their heart that it starts to show. And that's how my American mom Holly is. Now this whole was a pre-story to actually telling you about the point one I have here is to tell you how I feel and how I think I fit into the family. Well, so they chose me by the file, and I don't know if we ever communicated like through email or through some chat before I got to the USA. I think no, but I'm not sure. I don't remember. So the first time I saw Holly and Conrad was when they met me at the airport, and I had a very long flight. Like it was, I didn't live in Moscow, so for me, I lived in my hometown at that point in Astrakhan. So for me, it was not in one jump, but it was Astrakhan, Moscow, Munich, or some city in Germany, Germany, Washington, USA hometown. And I was like that by the end of the whole trip. And here I saw Holly and Conrad, and they were meeting me. I have a picture from the day. Here it is. So I guess I felt 100 of emotions at that point as well too. But I was very, very excited. I mean, all those were, I guess I was scared. So it's hard to feel emotions for me in life in general. So some of them I don't remember. I can only guess. I guess I was scared, but nervous, but mostly I was excited, eager, and happy. And so they met me. We went straight home to drop off the luggage and like maybe quickly change. I remember I wanted to take a shower, so I said like, yeah, okay, let me go to the bathroom, and then I will be ready to go. And they wanted to go to grab something to eat and just to like show me the city and stuff. So I remember this little thing. I never told them about it. That I said, let me go to the bathroom and I will be ready. And they meant I will go to the bathroom, like to take a bath, to take a shower. And at that point, I didn't know that going to the bathroom, well, means going to the loo. Yeah, so I went to the bathroom, to the toilet, and so I was out to go get my clothes to change after the shower. But since Holly and Conrad didn't know I was planning for the shower, they were like, "Oh, you're ready, let's go." And it's like, I was too shy to say something. I was like, yeah, let's go. I was shy and I was like excited. I was ready to do anything. And so, here goes one. Here goes one of the most little precious memory. Another one of the most little precious memory, which is we went to some kind of a sub place. I mean, like a restaurant, a cafe, where they would sell subs. I ordered something to eat, and then what do you want to drink? They asked me, and my dad, Conrad, he, like, I was looking at all the different sodas. I knew Coke, Sprite, Fanta, and there were some of them that I didn't know. And Conrad asked if I know what root beer is. Maybe I like it. And I said, no, I've never heard about it. So he bought me a can of root beer. My first day in the USA. I tried it. I tried something my dad offered me, and I loved it. And I drank root beer through my whole stay in the USA. And then in these 15 years since I'm not there, there's been 2 or 3 times that I was able to find root beer in Russia. It's not something that is common in Russia. It's like it doesn't exist in Russia, I would say. And then in one remote shop in Moscow, somewhere in the, I don't know, on the end of the city, at the end of the city, there's one little shop that once in 6 months brings like 10 root beer cans, imports them, and they would go hunting them. And then my husband learned when we started dating. He learned I loved root beer, and he found a place where it's sold, and he would bring me cans whenever he could. And those were one of the happiest moments of my life. Saying this makes me feel ashamed that I consider the happiest moments of my life to be such silly stuff like drinking soda and not like my, I don't know, career achievements. I am proud of my career achievements. I have them. I'm cool. I actually, despite, like, yeah, here I'm all an emotional wreck, but I'm a cool career person. I can do my job really well. And I have a lot of things to be proud of and to feel happy about, but probably should admit to myself that the happiness of drinking one particular soda is very much comparable to having a promotion, for example. Oh God. Okay, probably I'm gonna record this for like 2 hours and then try to make it at least 40 minutes in editing. It was another, just a little moment, a root beer moment. And Jesus Christ, Jesus, thank you so much that I exist and that I have all these feelings and that I had this experience of going to my American family, that I know them, that I've met them, that I just have had them, and I hope to have them in my life in the future again. So, I feel like I fit like the most perfect ever glove to this family and this family fit to me, for me, the same way. I don't know, uh, I will try to explain this. It feels like um, in my past life they were my actual family, and we just couldn't not meet again in this life too. So we had to find each other again in this life too. That's how it feels. It feels like I have two families, like they are my soul family. And here I want to take note, mostly to myself, that my loving them so much doesn't mean that I don't love or love less my real Russian mom and dad, my biological family. One of the reasons why I've been suppressing all this about USA and not talking to anybody is because of the shame I felt of about how much I loved my American family. I thought I was betraying my Russian family. And well, these 2 years in therapy talking about it is a lot of talking about my feelings for Holly, Conrad, and Sydney, not meaning I don't have feelings as strong. Feelings for my mom, my dad, and my sister. I have a little sister. She's 17 now. So I love my mom. I love my dad. I love my sis. They are my family. It's just that I have another experience. I have American family. I had a whole different life there, and I spent this whole different life with them, and I love them, and I don't want to ever feel ashamed of it again, of my life, of my love for them. Since the day I left, there hasn't been a single day when I wouldn't remember about Conrad, Holly, and Sydney in all the 15 years. That's a lot of days. I want to talk now about how it all connects to the moment right now. I loved them so much, and I felt like they were my people so hard that when it was time to leave, I couldn't bear it. Let me try to tell you a bit about how I left. I remember the last days before I had to go. I was very angry, but like I didn't realize that. I mean, I was just a grumpy teenager. I'm very thankful to Sydney and Holly, who I remember one moment when. So I was constantly angry, and some simple things like I would start, well, kind of a fight. I can't say we ever had like a real fight with them, but like kind of a fight about Holly wanting to give me some money to for the trip so that like I have extra money just in case. And I got so mad about it because it just like talking about me needing money for the trip meant that the trip leaving them was becoming more and more real. So I was so mad that I kind of started a quarrel. And I left to, at some point, so we had a quarrel. It was me, Holly, and Sydney at that point. And I got so mad at Holly that they were talking about it. And I just left to sit in the backyard. I have a picture about it. Sydney took it. She said I was so beautiful. And one of the most important moments in my life was when I left to sit in the backyard and it was sunset. I was just watching the cars driving through on the road. And I sat there for I don't know how long, just thinking how much I don't want to leave. And although like we had this quarrel in the house and I left on the quarrel note, I don't remember, maybe I was slamming the door. I don't know, but like the emotion was like I was like slamming the door and just leaving the house. And my sister, my beautiful sister, Sydney, she just let me go and waited for me in the house and took a picture of me saying I was so beautiful, sad but beautiful. And she just waited for me there until I have my moment and like go through all the emotions that I have and come back. I hope so much with every little piece of my heart that this is what's going to happen when I go to the USA. That she's waiting for me, and that when I come back from the backyard to the house again, she will welcome me again and hug me. And I will be able now to say, to understand and to say everything I feel, how much I love her, how much I appreciate the fact that she just exists, that she exists in my life, that she did all the amazing things for me, like root beer float for breakfast. It's one of the little precious memories with her that I have. How she took me to have a root beer float for breakfast. And me being a big sister for my little Russian sister. I hope to be, I don't know, at least like half or 70% to my sister Angelica, what my sister Sydney had been for me. Oh God, I didn't want to leave. It was so, I mean, I wanted to go back to my parents, of course, to see them again, to, like, I missed them. I had my friends in Russia who I missed as well, but it didn't, like, collide with the feelings of not wanting to ever leave my American family. And I also had a boyfriend at that point, a wonderful, wonderful young man. Colby, you are, I still remember that you have an S on your t-shirt. Not just because you're a Superman, but also because you're a sweetheart. So I have pictures like that. That's me crying at the airport, leaving, and all the other exchange students that I was in Pennsylvania, in that area, with saying goodbye to me. I'm wearing my boyfriend's Colby's jacket, bomber, at that point, because I kind of, I don't know what to say, they write mugged it from him the last day we saw each other. I just needed it. I held on to it like to my life. I asked him to give it to me. It was just his piece of clothing, and I was just like, you have to give it to me, please, please, please. So my whole trip, I was in this. I was wearing it. My whole trip, which is again my American hometown, Washington, Germany, Moscow, where my mom met me. This whole journey, I was wearing the jacket, hugging a toy that I have, a dog. I brought it with me from Russia. It stayed with me my whole journey to the USA, and I went back with it. Like the only, I want to say person, but like the only someone or something I could talk to, which knew my whole journey. That's the only one. That's him. He's been with me through this whole stuff. So I was crying, and nobody understood, kind of, why I was crying. I was traveling to the USA. I was traveling with a whole group of exchange students from Russia, going to different states and going back. It also was like, I don't know, there were 10 days for everybody to come back from different states of USA home. So we had a lot of shared flights, and everybody was so happy and cheerful. Well, maybe exaggerating that everybody was like that. I mean, probably there were some sad faces too, like me. But mostly guys kids were inspired to go back. And though I was kind of inspired to go back too, I felt like my whole world was breaking, and it was, because I left it. And I remember a nice German woman on my flight, I guess from Germany to Russia, or maybe from US to Germany, that she talked to me. And I was also so lucky to be sitting not next to other exchange students, but to somebody who I who didn't know, because I could try to tell her some stuff, and I could cry. I didn't want to talk to anybody. Like, I didn't want to talk to other exchange students because like, I just felt they had a different vibe. I don't want to say that like they didn't have such a deep connection with their families or anything. No, I just understand that at that moment, at that particular moment of the logistics of going back to Russia, they had just different experience. And mine was like that. I also need to say that my Russian mom or my Russian dad or my Russian stepfather, because they are divorced since I'm like 4, they never said anything like, never talk to us about this American experience, never tell us how much you love this American family. No, they were super, like, they are cool. my Russian parents are cool. My mom and Holly, I remember even they would like communicate. I would translate for my mom because she doesn't know English, and help them communicate with each other in email or on Facebook or something. Like, my father, he was very grateful, and I think my mom too, They were very grateful to Holly and Conrad for hosting me, their daughter, for 9 months. But at that particular moment, when I'm back to Russia, I'm 16. No one told me, like, don't you talk about this American experience ever. No. It was my choice. I think because even then I had this habit of suppressing emotions. And the pain of leaving behind my American life and my American family, the pain was so huge, enormous, gigantic, that it was safer for me, psychologically, mentally. My brain decided that it's safer not to even touch it in the slightest. So when I came back, well, of course I told some stuff. Of course I shared some stuff. But it was like, I don't know, maybe first 2-3 weeks. And then for some reason I decided it's best not to. So, and then here comes the most shameful part. Holly and Conrad and Sydney would write me and I would answer them on Facebook. But with time it became harder and harder for me to answer them. Because every time I said to write them, I would feel a little part, but a part of this enormously huge pain I had for not being with them, for leaving. And it was insanely painful to touch this feeling. So talking to them was like, chatting with them was like a painful reminder that I'm not with them, that it's Facebook we have to communicate through, and that they are hundreds, thousands miles away. It's funny how I live in kilometers systems, in metric systems, but when I speak English, it's like unnatural to say kilometers. I would say Fahrenheit and miles and stuff. And so I didn't want to touch that pain. I didn't want to feel that pain. And my answers to them became slower and slower, like more time would pass between I got their message and replied. And I think in a year, maybe even less, it got to the point where like I wouldn't answer them. Then for the next, I think like 2 years, I would gather all my strength to write one big letter in 6 months or so. It took, I remember one moment when I was writing it took literally all of me to be able to write because of the pain I was feeling. I wanted to communicate with them. I didn't want to lose touch. I wanted to know how they are, to share with them how I am. And it was a time when I first fell in love, like I had the first crazy love experience. It was the time when I entered the university. I moved to Moscow, like it was a lot of going on. I was 16, I was finishing school. When I came back to Russia, I like it was my last year in Russia, so I just came back to Russia, passed my exams, and school was over for me. It took my whole me to be able to do what I want to write them. I wanted and dreaded it at the same time. And then, so I think about 2 years, I would like gather on all my strength once in 6 months and write them. But then it just stopped because I couldn't gather all my strength anymore. And for about, I can't count correctly right now, but I guess for about 10 years, I wouldn't communicate with them at all. I think in these 10 years, maybe once or twice, I wrote them something like, thank you for congratulating me on my birthday, and they still do, and I don't, which I'm also ashamed of. I don't congratulate them on their birthdays, because for the same reasons. I am very selfishly and egoistically can't step over my pain and write happy birthday. And then, so I started therapy 5 years ago now. Only after, I think, after 2 years of therapy, was I able to start talking at therapy sessions about my American experience and how much it means to me. In about a year, I got this idea that I remember I was in St. Petersburg, I was visiting a friend, and I remember walking in the snow. It was like severe winter at that time, and I was walking through the snow, very cold but very determined to get to a warmer place. And I was thinking about my American family, and an idea struck me, and I was like, I need to record the video for my mom, for Holly, where I would just, after this year of therapy about USA, well, it wasn't like for the whole year I talked about USA only, not obviously, but with this progress that I made in this topic, I feel like I can record a video for Holly, telling her how much I love her, how much I miss her, how much I want to communicate with her, but I couldn't all these years and all this stuff. So I decided, I had an idea after a year of therapy. The next year, I spent thinking that I want to make this video. In about 5 months after that idea, I recorded a video. At that point, we were leaving Russia to go here to Armenia, and I just recorded a video for Holly saying that here we are right now at this point, we're moving from Russia to Armenia. And I was telling her all the things I wanted to say. And so I recorded this video, but I never sent it. And then in 6 more months, I remember it was either Christmas or day before Christmas, Catholic Christmas. It was just a day, and I sat in the kitchen in this house in Armenia. I sat in the kitchen and I just recorded a video. I just recorded it. I uploaded it to YouTube because I didn't know any other way to send it. Made it possible to be seen only if you have a straight link. and I sent it to my mom on Facebook. Wow, I am still very proud of that. So it was last year, last Christmas, a year ago. And she watched this video and she wrote me beautiful stuff that she of course still loves me. And she recorded a video too, showing me where she lives right now, her studio, and a little like handcrafted stuff that I made when I was in USA and gave her as a present. And she said she loves me. After me not talking to her for 10 years. And she said she would be happy to see me and that she waited for me. So we started to communicate. I told her that it might be hard for me again, and I don't know if I will be able to, like after sending this video, I don't know how will I be able to manage my emotions and be able to reply to her like a normal person. But we did exchange news for, I think, for a month or two. I would go to Facebook to see her page and on Instagram, and well, the thing with Facebook is that it physically hurts me to go there, because I know I will see this, what you call it, this feed, and see Hollis and Conrad's and Sydney's posts, and it just, I can't handle it. So so I don't go to Facebook, only if it's a very absolute necessity, which happens about once a year. And I ask my husband to log into my account so that I don't see their messages or their posts. Because I'm just gonna die if I do. It feels like I'm gonna die if I do. So we talked with Holly for, I think, for a month or two and exchanged pics and news. And then I was ready to make a video for Sydney. And I made a video for Sydney, just me talking to the phone and telling her all the things I wanted to say for these 15 years. And I think what got me is I sent it to her. I was checking nervously if she'd read it. So I think for a few days she didn't read it. Then there were a few days when I saw that she read the message with the link to the video. Or it was, yeah, I think for her it wasn't the link, I was just recorded and sent it. And so I lived a few days seeing that she read the message but didn't reply. And I think this is what got me I feel so ashamed for it. So since then I didn't come back to Facebook. I didn't write or answer. I don't know if they wrote me. And it's been now, well, I guess 10 months, 9 months, since I haven't talked to any of them again. But this whole time, I have been extremely slowly, but trying to get a USA visa to travel. Honestly, there are some more stuff I wanted to tell about my experience in USA, about school, about friends, because it's important too. but I feel like not this time, and well, I think I feel like I got most of it out, and I'm ready for the part. I think I shared the most difficult stuff, and like the main stuff, and I'm ready for the part where I kind of sum it up, connected to the moment right now, and tell you what the goal achievement is going to be. So, for me, a person who has difficulty with feelings, but usually is okay with actions, it's much easier to do actions, though it's hard to. Like, just to get you an idea, last February was the first time when I was like, I'm getting the fucking visa to the USA. Yes. And I found a service, like a counselor who can help you out with filling all the forms for the visa. And there's this thing where like you can't apply in Russia anymore, and you need to choose where to apply. Well, I can apply in Armenia, but so not going into the details, it's just a stressful, long process for me. And what I want to do, I want to hire somebody who can help me with most of the paper stuff. So that's what I started doing in February. I started researching services like that, and I found one, and I started communicating with the one, but that's as far as I got. Although this communicating had a few stages too, so it was just like progress for me, but then I stopped. When I came back to it, September, I guess, September 2023, I realized that my foreign passport, and there is this thing in Russia where you have two passports. All the visas can go only in the foreign passport. Foreign passport, you receive it and you have to renew, and like you have to receive a new one every, it used to be 5 years. Now you have an option to get one for 10 years. And my 10 years passport, foreign passport, expires in April 2024. So in September, I understood that my passport is expiring, and if I want to get a visa, plus to that, it's not only like all these documents. No, I also don't know when I will be able to travel to the USA in terms of like receiving a visa. When will I get it? Because the process is very long now. And in terms of finances, when I will be able to afford it financially. So I know that it's 2024. Oh, now I know that it's 2024. But when exactly, maybe I will achieve my dream goal in spring, maybe in summer, maybe in December of 2024. I don't know. We'll see. It's not that it's, I don't know, super hard to receive a foreign passport. No, but it's just another step in this already hard journey for me of obtaining a USA visa and going to USA. Now I'm at the point where I'm so sure I need to do this in 2024, where it feels like it's a life-death question for me. Again, I'm ashamed to say that because I'm ashamed of my feelings still. I'm working on it, but I'm ashamed that it means so much to me and that for so much time I haven't done anything with it. As for the person for whom action is easier than feeling, although in this case action is also very hard too, but easier still, I choose the path of action so that I move on from this point of unlimited pain and regret. So the goal is to go to the United States of America in 2024. And I need two things to do there. Another thing that I'm going to mention slightly here, but which is also important for me, is that besides my relationship with my American family, I kind of have a relationship with the USA as a country. I mean that I want some me alone time with the USA. I don't know if it makes sense, but my goals sound like I go to the USA in 2024 to visit and spend time and love my American family, each of them, and also spend some alone time in New York City and maybe in Washington. Those two cities because I visited them when I was in USA when I was 16, and I have my own experiences connecting me to those cities too. And I need, so like the ideal plan is that I go to New York, live there for a week or two, try not to die emotionally inside. When I say that, I mean that I dread of how many emotions I'm gonna feel, how I'm not gonna be able to suppress it, how I'm gonna be an emotional wreck. I fear those moments, but I also feel like I need them to set me free from a lot of things. So the plan is that I go to New York. So I travel like Yerevan, New York, spend there a week or two, and alone, and then go to Pennsylvania to visit Holly, Conrad, and Sydney. And here I want to say spend with them, well, I'd love to say a month. I don't know if I will be able to in terms of work, in terms of finance, in terms of the thing I dread the most, them wanting me to spend a month with them. I believe in myself so much right now. Like me making this video is already a freaking destination, a freaking achievement. It's me making this video and then posting it. It shows how much I'm ready. It's a huge step, like a huge step for me. So that shows me that I can do all the other steps too, one by one. I guess the hardest thing will be leaving again, and I need to go through this experience and to show my little self from the point I'm 31, from my adult Alisa, show my 16-year-old Alisa that it's possible to live and stay in touch, to love each other, to maybe visit each other, and not maybe, I want them in my life. I want to be a part of their lives, and I'm gonna build it. I'm gonna do it. I can now. I'm grown up. I've gone a long road. I've come a long way. I can do that. What I couldn't do at 16. The steps are the following. I go to Russia. I'm leaving next Friday. It is possible for me to get this foreign passport not going to Russia, like staying here in Armenia through the Russian embassy. It's okay. It's just that I need to go to Russia for some other reasons, and it will be more convenient for me to obtain a new foreign passport while I'm there. So making a foreign passport takes up to 1 month from the moment you apply for it. Then when I get it, I will apply for visa, Again, I will hire somebody to help me out. I just know that it will be easier for me like that and move the process faster. Then I have the next step is I need not to go crazy crying at the visa interview. Because I might, and the visa officer will think I'm afraid of this, that I will just go crazy crying on the interview when he asks me the reason for my visit or something like that. And I will go so crazy that he will think, or she, that they will think that I want to go there and stay there illegally, and that's why they will refuse me a visa. I do have a fear like that. But go through the interview, get a visa, then I need to save money for the ticket. I mean, I will start saving anyway as soon as I can, which is going to be the end of March. Next step, to save for accommodation, like to stay in USA for this long and in different places. And then I'm good to go. It says here, I mean, I wrote that I'm okay with eating $1 pizza for every meal in US if it's what gets me financially able to make the trip. I mean it. If in 2023 my plan for the visit was like, well, I really want to take like business class trip because it's a long flight and I want to feel comfortable and blah blah blah. And then, well, when I stay in New York, I want to stay somewhere in the center of the city because I need to, like, I will want to go around that stuff. Although it's all wonderful dreams and I still would love to do that, right now, just all this unnecessary stuff is desirable but not in the column have to have. I need to go to the USA. I feel myself right now like a little bit, this crazy person in the movie who's like, I need to do that. All that other stuff around it doesn't matter. I just need to go there. That's the most important thing. You see me? You hear me? I am a little bit off the edge. That's true. So, I am ready to eat $1 pizza for every meal. I don't care. As long as it means I'm gonna go, like, faster. I'm gonna get there faster. Next, random thoughts I have, if any left. I feel kind of empty now, having said all of this. But in a good way. I mean, I cried. I finally cried. It really is a big thing for me to cry. And here I let it out. I haven't cried for 4 months for sure, but I think like half a year maybe. And I really needed it. I don't know if this video is going to make sense. I hope it does. In a nutshell, I just wanted to share my experience of coming to the point where I am going to achieve the most difficult and important goal in my life so far, which is going to the USA in 2024 to visit my American family, who are Sydney, Holly, Conrad, and Asta, and also spending some alone time in New York City and hopefully, Washington, D.C. I haven't been able to do it for 15 years now because of the pain, because of the huge pain that I have caused by leaving people I loved so much. But now I'm finally able to make small steps towards my goal, and I really truly believe in myself. I can do that. I can do that in 2024. And I'm like, it's not a question anymore for me if I do that or not. It's a life and death question. I either do it or it's impossible not to do it. I hope to share my whole journey towards my dream. I feel like I need it, that it will help me sharing it, like this video right now here. And I also feel like it will be easier for me to do that, because it's like somebody I will be able, besides therapy, somebody I will be able to talk to about it. Because though I still can share it with my husband and my friends, it's hard, but it's kinda easier to do it with the abstract people behind the camera. There is no smart conclusion at the end of this video. I made this video for myself, to help myself. Yeah, it's egoistic, but yeah. It's not that I have advice or some smart thought. I just shared my story, and I would probably ask you, if it happens that you have something hateful to say, please don't. And just asking you to, I mean, you obviously have the right to feel anything you want to feel about me, what I said and stuff, but just as a human to human, I would ask you not to say hateful things under this video in the comments, because I may get very emotional about it, and it will be hard for me, and I don't want it to be any harder than it already is. I'm very ashamed. Again, I feel so much shame in my life, obviously. I'm ashamed to ask, but I would really love to get your support if you feel like you have it to give. Like, I mean, if by the end of this video you feel like you have something supportive to say, or just neutral, I would be extremely thankful to you if you do that. Yeah, so here I am, a very egoistic person, just sharing all my hard feelings on you, and asking you for support. I want to quote myself: "These things have been in a dark closet for far too long. And they don't deserve to be there, because those things are beautiful, because they are about love. And all you need is love. They are about how boundaries of the countries don't matter. They are about people respecting and loving each other. They are about love. And things about love shouldn't be in a dark closet anymore." So this year, Alisa travels to the most important destination of her life yet. That's true. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for just listening and watching till the end. Thank you.